Before I go into this story, I want to preface that everything I'm telling you is 100% true. I'm 21 now, but this happened to me when I was in my early teens. My best friend's family growing up had this huge farmhouse in the middle of Virginia. It was very old and beautiful, but also had a very dark history. In the house, there is a tunnel that leads to an underground room of sorts that was used for slaves to hide during the 1800s. And I'm pretty sure that given the history of the house, that some may have died down there while in hiding. So you can imagine the history and energy that fills the house. I was always scared there. I never felt alone and wouldn't go anywhere alone in the house, even just to grab something out of the room that I would be staying in. Even the family was scared to stay there with no company because of the intense experiences they had, which I can get into another day. The rooms were massive, and the entire house was white with this creepy vintage decor. It was sort of like being in a time capsule. For instance, there was even a cabinet of ventriloquist dolls upstairs. No joke. My friend's family was really odd, with lots of dark problems. Anyways, the second time I visited that house, I was with my mom, my best friend at the time, and her mom, and it was a girls' trip of sorts. One night, I woke up and was so thirsty, and the last thing I wanted to do was go downstairs and get water. I was terrified. I hated that house at night, but my mom was dead asleep, so I literally sprinted downstairs with my head only looking at the floor. I made my water in about 5 seconds, and when I made it to the stairs, something compelled me to look at the giant glass doors that were in front of the stairs, leading outside. I was horrified, but felt like I needed to look out that window. What I saw when I looked towards that window will haunt me for the rest of my life. I saw a man as real as anything I've ever seen. It was pitch black outside with a huge bright moon. The man was all black, like a silhouette, but because of the moon being so bright, I could clearly see his entire body. He was blacker than black. He stood out so much, I thought it was a person like a trespasser was in the window. He was wearing a top hat and was abnormally tall, like over 7 feet. My heart felt like it stopped beating. I felt like I was in a trance. I was so horrified, but I couldn't look away. He was moving a little bit, almost like breathing. Then about 10 seconds later, he was gone, disappearing into thin air. I panicked and bolted upstairs after I snapped out of my trance. I cried to my mom and was up all night. The next morning, I told my friend and her mom about the experience, and they were not shocked at all. They said that they had seen multiple full-body apparitions in the house themselves. The nanny that worked for them even refused to go into some of the rooms of the house. I never went back to that house again. Thank you once again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and click the notification for more scary things. Till next time.